Welcome to worship here at University Mennonite. This morning, as we listen to our prelude song and watch the images that we've all shared from our weeks, I invite you to pay especially close attention to the music and the words. We're going to be singing this song together at the end of our service. So draw the circle wide. Welcome again to worship, friends. It's good to see all your faces this morning. Today we are gathering to consider one more stone in our cairn, one more signpost on the way to understanding who Jesus is and what he calls us to. We're looking at the story of Zacheus, a real-life encounter with Jesus that mirrors the truths of the lost and found parables, the lost son, the lost coin, the lost sheep. Jesus came to seek and save the lost. No one, not even a short tax collector, is too far away to be drawn into the circle of grace. Let's join together in our call to worship, which is divided into left and right readers with a section for all at the end. In times of anguish, you have widened my way. Now with overflowing kindness, pay attention to my prayer. Why do you put my honor to shame? You lust after emptiness and quest for deception. But know that the one who loves the eternal is singled out. My upholder will listen when I call out the holy name. Tremble when you contemplate all the ways you have missed the mark. Speak to God in your heart when you lie upon your bed. Speak to the Holy One with your silence. Offer as sacrifice only your righteous acts and put your trust in the source of hope. Many are the ones who say, "Who will illumine for us the good?" You lift the light of your face above us, placing gladness in my heart, even when the enemy's grain and wine abound. With peace and contentment, I lie down and sleep. Because you, God, are with the lonely, help me to dwell in trust. With peace and contentment, I lie down and sleep. Because you, God, are with the lonely, help me to dwell in trust. Isn't this our prayer for everyone and everywhere? That we can lie down and sleep in peace. I pray this prayer in my heart every time I tuck my boys in their bunk beds under their cozy quilts and feel this overwhelming sense of gratitude that they can rest in warmth and safety and assurance of their belovedness. But this psalm seems to go even farther than physical safety and comfort. Speaking of times of anguish, loneliness, and insecurity, as when the enemy seems to be prospering. Even in those times, and perhaps especially in those times, God is with us. I'm going to light the peace lamp, and then we can pray together. If I can find the matches, here they are. Let's pray. Loving God, we give you thanks that you see us and know us and love us. We hold up today anyone who is lonely or afraid, all who cannot fall asleep in peace. May all of us, oppressors and oppressed, powerful and lowly, wounded and whole, and all the many parts inside each of us, turn toward you. As you, our upholder, turn the light of your face toward us. Amen. I invite you to turn in your Purple Voices Together book to number 778. Will you let me be your servant?
Let's go ahead and stand.
Will Where do I see a signpost of God in our world today? To be honest with you, with all the violence and divisiveness in our world, sometimes it's hard to see the signposts of God. But there are many signposts, and they're there. Sometimes we just miss them. Since I retired nearly 2 years ago, I have been honored to be able to help some persons in our congregation. These activities include driving them to appointments, helping with yard work, gardening and mowing, helping to clean their homes, and physically assisting them in their home. I hear about their lives when they share what they appreciate about their families, their friends, and close-knit neighbors. I also hear of their struggles of aging, of physical pain, a particular illness, or physical impairments. I often experience sadness and empathy when I hear of these struggles. But what I experience most is an overwhelming feeling of inspiration. Inspiration that despite all of their struggles, there are still moments of joy, of happiness, of love, and a strong faith and belief that God is still present in their lives. For me, I can't think of a more significant signpost of God in our world today. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you guys doing this morning? Let's do something fun. Okay, let's do something fun to start out with to see how you're doing, okay? You're going to let me know, and people in the congregation can do it too if they want to. You're going to let me know without your words how you're doing this morning. So you're going to do thumbs up, in the middle, or down, okay? So think about it. Think about it. When you're ready, tell me how you're doing. Good. Okay, thank you. All right. So this morning I'm going to read a story to you. And one of the reasons that I like to read the Bible, one, to know more about God, to know more about myself, and to know more about you, right? And one of the ways that I know that God knows me is all throughout the time that I read the Bible. It tells me things like, God knows how many hairs I have on my head. God knows what the flowers of the field need. God knows, He knew me before I was even born, right? He knit me together in my mother's womb. So all those things, when I keep reading them, I start to understand more of who I am through God's eyes, who I am with you, and who He is. So here's a story, and let's see if we can figure out a little bit more about who God is from these stories. As Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard the crowd going by, he asked what was happening. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. He called out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. That means pay attention, care about me. Those who led the way rebuked him and told him to be quiet. Shh. But he shouted all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped and ordered the man to be brought to him. When he came near, Jesus asked him, what do you want me to do for you? Lord, I want to see, he replied. Jesus said to him, receive your sight. Your faith has healed you. Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus, praising God. When all the people saw it, they also praised God. What was really important to this person? What was really important to this person? The blind man. To see. And what was he first trying to do when he was yelling out? What was he trying to do? To get his what? Attention, right? And what do you think it tells us about God, about Jesus? Okay, so did Jesus walk right by him? Or did he see the man? He saw him, right? And did he listen to the crowd saying, shh, ignore him, he's just being annoying? No. Or did Jesus say, no, I want to know what's going on with this guy, right? Okay. That we're going to look at another story and see if it tells us a little bit more about who Jesus sees or who Jesus is and who we are. Alethea, come on up. Ben, do you want to be reader? Do you want to read? Okay. Alethea, you're number 1 on here. Amy, come on up, Ben. And you are number, which one are you? 2? You're number 3. Okay. All right. Alethea, start. This is also our scripture for today. Go ahead.
Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through it. A man was there named Zacheus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd, he could not, because he was too short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, because Jesus was going to pass that way.
When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today." So he hurried down and was happy to welcome him.
All of who saw it began to grumble and said, "He has gone to be the guest of one who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor, and if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much."
Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost."
Excuse me, we're having children's time.
I know. I'm so glad I got here just in time to hear the story. Thank you. Thank you for reading it. What are your names? Who read it? Let's see. Okay. Ben and
Alethea,
Amy. Thank you. It's such a good story. I'm sorry. I was in such a rush. I was climbing trees. My socks aren't even. Gotta turn them. So, I was climbing trees. I'll tell you in just a sec. I was climbing trees. Does anybody here like to climb trees? Who likes to climb trees? Why do you like to climb trees?
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
Get up high.
You can see the view. Why else? Everett, why do you like to climb trees? Yeah. Sometimes you go high. Oh, to the top of the tree. Why else? Who else?
This is fun.
It's fun. Jonas, why do you like to climb trees?
Because then I can actually jump off and then I can slide down the hill at school.
Whew, you can jump off. I like to climb trees too, and kind of like Ben, I like to climb them because I see in a different way. Oh, better not hit that candle. I see in a different way when I climb trees. I get to see the world, I see rooftops, and I see people in a different way too. Well, yeah, I didn't introduce myself yet. I'm Zacheus, that man you just heard about.
What?
Zacheus. What do you know about Zacheus? What did you learn about Zacheus?
Climbed up in a tree and saw Jesus.
I like to climb trees. You learned that. What else?
Jesus came to his house.
He said, I want to come to your house. Yes, what else? What else did you learn? What else do you know about me?
He healed you.
Well, he healed the blind man coming into town.
Oh,
But what about me? Do you know what I do for a living?
tax collector.
I am a tax collector. Not only a tax collector, I am the chief tax collector. What else? Did you know I'm rich? I'm rich. I like to climb trees, but I'm rich. But something you probably don't know about me is I'm generous. I'm generous. That story just tells a little piece about me. But my name, somebody said my name, Zacheus. Zacheus. Do you know what it means in my language? In my language, Zacheus means pure or innocent. Some of your names, your name means something. What is your name? Lily. The lilies of the field. We think of the way God provided. And your name means something. What is your name? Timo.
Timo grass?
Timothy. Timothy's grasses, right? We have those stories in the Bible of the grasses growing. They remind us of God's love. And we have hope here. Whenever we say her name, like it puts a smile on my face. And the one who led singing, Faith, like how can you not think of that? So my name, can you imagine when I was a boy, when I was your age, when I'd go out and my friends would say, Innocent, innocent, come play hide and go seek with us. It was a name to live up to, a hard name to live up to, but I've tried. Well, you can stay here. I have more to say, but before you go, if you want to go back to your seats, there's something I want you to know. There's something I want you to know. Just a minute, Jonas. I want you to know that just like in our story today, where Jesus said to me, you're going to hear later, Jesus said, somebody read it, that I am a son of Abraham, that I belong. That means I belong, even though I'm a tax collector and these people out here, they don't think I belong. They think I'm doing the wrong thing. The people of my time. Jesus said, this man is a son of Abraham. He belongs. Just like that blind man on the road you heard about, we all belong. So I want you to know, Ben and Amy and Alethea and Everett and Vivian, Jonas and Timo, yes, that you belong. Each one of us belongs. That you too are known and loved. So never forget that. So you can stay here if you want. You can go back to your seats. But I'm going to keep talking because I have more to say to these people out here. More to say. Okay. Do people think, who thinks tax collectors are bad? Ben's wondering. Yeah. Who thinks people that had, yeah, that's how I've been seen. Yeah. Tax collectors are seen as bad, but I want to tell you that day when Jesus showed up and called me by name. Whoops. I want you to hear what I have to say. When Jesus showed up that day and called me out of that tree. But before, let me back up, because I was changed. I'd heard that, man, Jesus was coming to town, and I ran ahead, ran up. I love to climb trees. Even in my old age, I still climb. So I can see differently. So I can see in a new way. And I went up that tree, and who would have thought it? He stopped. He stopped and said, Zacheus, come down. I must come to your house today. My house. I was excited, wanting to welcome him. I got down, and that man, Jesus, he looked at me. He looked at me in a way I have never been looked at before, because he saw me. He saw me not as a tax collector. He saw me. And I think he knew something about me. I think he knew who I really was. He knew the generous one. Well, I got down and he was looking at me and I was feeling such a sense of connection. And then the crowds, oh, those guys around us, those ones who see me as the tax collector, they started grumbling. Why is this man, Jesus, inviting a sinner, wanting to go to the house of a sinner? That's probably how you all see me too. The sinner, the tax collector, the one who takes and takes and takes. Well, that man, Jesus, he saw something different. He knew me. And in that moment, I wanted to be known. I wanted my community to know me. And so unlike what you often read in your holy scriptures, this story of yours, written many, many years after it happened, written by Luke, that Gentile who wrote it down in Greek, even though I spoke in a different language, wrote it in Greek, and now you read it in English. I can't blame you. It's hard to understand sometimes how things are translated. But that story that you heard, there's another way to translate it. There's another way to hear it. And I think Jesus knew it. When I came down and I was standing in front of Jesus and that grumbling was happening, I said, Lord, I give half my possessions to the poor. And if I've made a mistake, if I've defrauded someone, I repay them 4 times. I didn't say, like your translation today read, I will give half. I will repay. I said I'm doing it. I am generous. My community, so few know that. But I follow the Torah. I worship the one God. And I think Jesus knew that all along because he said, today salvation has come to this house. Salvation, which means divine safety. Divine safety had come to my house that day. Divine safety, that sense of belonging, that sense that I too was a child of the risen one, that I too was a son of Abraham. He provided divine safety in telling the rest of my community that I too belong, that maybe they should get up in trees and climb trees and like Ben said, to look at the world in a different way, maybe to look at people in a different way. That's our calling. That's what I learned that day, that maybe I need to see my neighbors in a different way, and that Jesus offered me that salvation to be a son of Abraham, one who is part of the family and belongs. Well, I know this community of State College, it's one where you don't always see one another. There's a lot of division in this place. The elections showed it. Things that are happening in your communities show it. You have work to do, everyone, to see a little differently. I know that pastor of yours, when she sees yard signs or she reads bumper stickers, she doesn't always see the son and the daughter of the living one who's there. That's the work, is to see beyond the signs and the facades, to welcome the other in, to broaden that circle. Yes, your pastor just last night, as Penn State was whomping on Maryland, she went instead to the movie theaters and met a friend there. And as she was waiting in front of the cinema, waiting for her friend to arrive, her friend whose skin tone is much, much darker than hers, she saw that friend coming across the parking lot looking agitated and angry, maybe a little fearful. Well, that friend came up to her and said, just as I was driving here, just as I was coming through the neighborhoods, through my neighborhood, those quiet streets, not another person was in sight, not another car on the road, and then a car came towards me and saw me and did a U-turn and followed me. Followed me as I turned left, followed me as I turned right, followed her all the way to the edge of that parking lot. She was seen all right, but she wasn't seen for who she was, as that beloved child who walks faithfully. There is much, much work in our own hearts, in our communities. That day, Jesus said, the Son of Man has come to seek the lost. The Son of Man comes seeking the forgotten, the ones on the margins, the ones that we sometimes have trouble seeing, and calls us to see, calls us to befriend. My friends, you might choose to join me, to take off your shoes, to walk in a different way. Climb a tree one day soon. And if you can't climb it, imagine what it is to climb one, to look down and to see your community, to see in your own hearts, to see the one who calls us to welcome all as sons and daughters of the living God. I hope to see you up in a tree soon. This week, as you come forward, this will be our last week of coming forward and building the cairn. I encourage you, we're going to hear in a minute that song in our hymnals about "Open My Eyes, Lord." And you might consider, how do you need your eyes opened? How might you need to climb into trees metaphorically and see the world in a different way? What are ways that you are closed to the working of the Spirit? So you might choose and bring a rock, place a rock on the cairn, recognizing the ways that we do not always live fully into the kingdom. Or you might bring a rock looking for that divine safety, for salvation. You might bring a rock feeling like you are grateful for the ways that we build together. You are invited, whatever is in your heart, as we listen to music, to sing along if you choose to, but to come and build this signpost, a signpost for all to see.
number 732, and the voices together.
Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see. Open my ears, Lord. Help me to hear your voice. Open my ears, Lord. Help me to hear. Open my heart, Lord. Help me to love like you. Open my heart, Lord. Help me to love. Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see. Open my ears, Lord. Help me to hear your voice. Open my ears, Lord. Help me to hear. Open my heart, Lord. Help me to love like you. Open my heart, Lord. Help me to love. Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see your face. Open my eyes, Lord. Help me to see.
We welcome announcements at this time. If there are anyone who needs to share a upcoming event or an announcement of any kind.
Doug Yoder, there's an announcement in your bulletin, but the 24th, Thanksgiving Day, we'll have the dinner here. If anyone wants lunch, well, dinner, it will start at 2 o'clock, but you're welcome to come around 1:30. There's a sign-up lid in the back, sign up your name and what you might bring. I already put the names down that have contacted us and let us know who's coming. So if you're on Zoom and are coming, just email us and we'll get your name on there and what you're bringing. So we have 17 so far, so hope to see you there.
Hi, my name is Ankit. I have a couple of announcements on behalf of the Fellowship Committee. First of all, just a reminder for everyone, there's a fellowship meal next Sunday. The other thing was that we're in the process of cleaning out the kitchen and the whole fellowship hall, and we have way too many coffee mugs. And a lot of them are handmade, they look really pretty. So we were hoping if you guys want, please go downstairs and check out all the mugs, and if you like one, please take it. And I'm not really sure when we will be donating them or if we will be donating them, but if you like one, please take it. So that'll be all from me. Oh yeah, there's also coffee in the lobby. So.
I'm Esther Prinz. It's birthday week in our family. Leland had a birthday yesterday, and Lily turns 14 on Wednesday.
Are there any other birthdays while we're talking about birthdays?
My birthday is on, my birthday is on November 16, so.
Wonderful. Lily and Timo will both be celebrating birthdays. Anyone else?
And mine is on November 15th.
Wonderful. All right, let's sing to each other. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Any more announcements?
I hope you're able to stay for coffee today. And I want to draw your attention as you're out fellowshipping with one another. There is that table out in the foyer that Bethany put together at the beginning of this Karen series that has rocks for you to take home and has some prompts. Take a rock as a reminder, not only of being seen and loved, but also as a call maybe to reach out to someone else, someone in your family, someone you haven't been in touch with in a while, to maybe to go that extra little bit and to touch base, to really see someone in a different way. So check out that table in the foyer and feel free to take a rock home with you.
I also want to invite you all, those who are staying for the potluck next week, there will be an activity for the younger set of making some star ornaments. And any adults are welcome to join that as well. There'll be an email going out about that this week. Also, for others, there will be a sermon discussion time here in the sanctuary between the service and the potluck. Do we have any visitors today? All right, well, it's good to have everyone here who is here. I invite Ben and Daniel to come and join me for the benediction, and then we will all join in a song together, Voices Together, number 802. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you
That darn D.